speed we need to go at.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, I want to go with this one.
I just put this much of my French vanilla bean. Half much, and then coffee on top. And it's like so smooth.
Yeah.
Hmm? Oh no, the creamer. I have vanilla bean creamer in there. And I poured that much in there. So it really tastes like ice cream. Coffee ice cream.
My dad makes hot cocoa with
Mm.
ice cream.
Oh, that's the
Oh
best.
my god.
I used to make Bailey's milkshakes when I was a bartender. Bailey's Irish cream milkshakes. I would every time I got off work, I would take some ice cream, real ice cream, and put it with Bailey's and blend
Oh
it.
my god, that's really good.
Once a week, I would do that.
Brilliant.
Hey, AJ,
That's me.
Mom?
on delay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Pretty
good.
good.
I got big guys.
Let me see that.
Look, I have sleeves today.
Big guys.
Oh,
kind of.
look at you.
Wow.
They sent me this baseball shirt at the beginning of baseball season, and I was like, I'll never wear that.
There you go.
There you go.
I love
It's really soft, but I don't like the sleeves
I
at
haven't had
all.
one of these shirts in a long
I like
time.
three-quarter sleeves. And they'll keep you warm, maybe.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
three-quarter sleeves
ever
feel
shirt that
weird.
I had that
I
had my
don't-
name on the back. 'Cause you know, in the 80s, it was very popular to have your name on the back of your shirt.
Yeah,
The first one I ever had was just like that, same color.
yeah.
And it said Travis. 8 years old. I was very happy with my shirt.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm the man. Got my name
80s
on
style,
that.
baby. 80s.
So I pretty much just roll them up
It's coming
so
back.
that they're
It's
not
coming back.
three-quarter sleeves because they drive me nuts when they're past my elbow
Mhm.
and not at my wrist.
I can see that.
It's like,
it.
yeah. When I get cold,
There you go. When it transforms.
I'm just gonna.
Cover your elbows.
You're gonna shrink. Your arms will go like a little pterodactyl.
Yeah.
I got T-Rex.
Like a little flash. Love you too. Christian favorite.
Come to me, come to me, come to me.
I had no idea that what happened with his family until today. No one told me.
Neat.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, hey everyone, how's it going?
Miss you,
Coffee.
Ellen. We miss you.
A little awkward. My sister did my makeup,
Oh wow.
so
Yes.
It looks fantastic. So
hold on, let me get some good vibes.
Yeah. Oh wow,
Wow.
you look so
Look at that.
pretty.
And it's nighttime
It's
now.
sparkle.
Look at his family member.
Fabulous.
is that your sister behind you?
I said, oh man, it was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
wow.
Wow, gorgeous. Well done, sister.
Beautiful.
Well
Beautiful.
done.
You
Your
better do your
eyebrows
first,
are on fleek.
do your first fashion show, bro.
Love it.
The awkward part is that you told us because we would have never known.
Usually, so
Oh, you drink the water. Stay healthy.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah. So while he's gone, I eat all the McDonald's I want.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Kamalani will smell it.
Oh yeah. And then you go on a crazy binge and run out like the Taco Bell commercial and just run out to McDonald's.
All right, so I had you join so that we can go over the schedule for the rest of the time. And then I'll kick you out and I'll just do whatever we're doing today from the stream, unless you want to stay in the meet. But I'm assuming you probably are going to go to sleep halfway through.
no, that didn't happen. Don't you assume that? I stayed with you guys at 2:10 last night.
Dang.
Last night?
That was 2 nights ago, bro.
Yesterday.
He's kind of lost the time.
Yesterday morning.
Oh, yes.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, I can understand. That's right, because it was the next day for him.
Probably because it was 2:10 in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, so I will share my screen with you. So you can see this and not have to be on the YouTube one. All right.
Christian, I think there's a ghost in here. I think it's a child.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's a little child in here.
Yeah, I keep hearing like a child's voice.
The-
It's a ghost.
But the rest of us haven't heard anything. Only Kamalani can still
Yeah,
hear
let
it.
me know if you hear it.
Only Kamalani still hears it. You got to work on your just. You can hear it because you are it.
I didn't hear it.
He told me I got him a soda because I'm a good dad, and he drank it all. And he's like, "I didn't drink this all. Where did it all go?" I was like, "Pretty sure you drank it." He goes, "Dad, I think the Holy Ghost drank it."
The Holy Ghost.
I said,
Patrick for this before.
I go, I don't think the Holy Ghost can drink it. I think he can. I said, well, did you see him do it? You can't see the Holy Ghost. Oh, okay. But he can drink things? Yep. He can drink your soda. So, all right, switch this to year mode. Okay, so here we are today. Hopefully everybody's done with the To-Do app because today is the last day we will talk about To-Do app, except for in one-on-ones, which we will start. So I'm going to start doing one-on-ones next week. Sharice and I are scheduled for Tuesday. I'll schedule the rest of you probably at like 5:30 on the day we meet. I'll just meet with somebody at 5:30 and we'll go through all your projects, where you're at, where they're at, and talk about any questions you have. I will try to have all of them at least pulled up on my computer and have gone through them. But if there's any specific projects that you want me to look at before your one-on-one, let me know. Up to this point, we've done a lot that haven't been reviewed. After this, I'll be able to review whatever one we are working on, and I'll have one-on-ones at the end of each project. Okay? So starting today, probably posting tomorrow morning because today was kind of insane and I didn't get the whole thing ready, the sprint finished ready. But starting tonight or tomorrow, there will be a sprint that hits that will end on the 22nd right now is the plan. So 2-week sprint where we will build, do I have it open somewhere? We're gonna build essentially this. So this is a front-end mentor project, but it's a premium one. But I know someone who built it, so I'm just gonna go steal all the assets. Nice. Don't tell anyone. And I'm just gonna figure out maybe what colors these are, and these. That it shouldn't be too bad. And I'll give you the colors. And the way this will work is there's a data. There will be data for these paragraphs, and each of these paragraphs, and then there will be different pictures or whatever. And then there's going to be this data down here. I'm going to make this more, so there's more data down here. And we're going to use this Planets API on API Ninjas to go and get whichever planet you go to more information. So now this planet API is kind of weird because it gives you the mass, but the mass is based on Jupiter's mass. So it's like Jupiter is mass of 1, everything else is mass of less than 1, right? Same with the radius is based on Jupiter. Period, I believe, is how long I don't know if this is, I think this is let's see what Earth is. So this is period as a year, so how long it takes to rotate around the sun based on Earth days. I don't know what semi-major axis is. Minimum semi-major axis of planet in astronomical units. So the temperature is in Kelvin. The distance is in light years from Earth. So Earth is 0, everybody else is further. Host star mass, how big it is. I'm assuming this mass is based on Jupiter, so is CoStar, is the sun the same as Jupiter?
No. Should not be.
Is the sun in
'Cause
It's
the sun is
mass-wise?
Way,
the, I
way,
think the sun is
yeah.
I would think so too.
Because I think, how many Earth is like this?
Temperature is in Kelvin, so maybe the mass thing doesn't go above 1,
Hmm,
because it's maybe a percentage.
okay.
It's more than 100% of, I don't know. I don't know what that one is, but I don't know that there's a lot of information outside of what we're looking at. Anyway, so in order to use this, you will have to come on and sign up for an account. You can use your Dev Island account so that you don't get spam email. I don't know if they will spam you. It gives you access to any of these APIs. You can hit it 50,000 times a month for free, and then they start to try and get you to hit it more often and charge you. But
50,000.
only 50,000 times. You shouldn't have an issue while we're doing class, but let's say you decide you want to make a nutrition app later on. Here's nutrition facts that you can pull down for different types of things. So, which is pretty cool. 1 pound brisket and fries gives you nutrition facts for that. So it's kind of a cool API. Has a bunch of different things in it. We're just going to use planets for this one. But we'll use that information to fill in these cards down here at the bottom. As far as this goes, this will be based on a different data object that I'll give you. I'll give you all the pictures. The one thing that this person didn't do is I would like these to, do you see how there's the animation here? I'd like this to animate as well. So you'll need to figure out how to do animation, CSS animation. So it'll just be that they fade instead of just change.
Oh, it's like the switching.
Yep. So these are two different images, right? So you just have one fade in and while the other fades out or whatever. Okay. And then the other thing is when you change to different planets, we're going to use React Router so that you can have it be /Earth, and it should take you to the Earth one, right?
So it'll be a new link every time we hit something in the nav bar.
Yep. It would also be good to be able to do internal structure and surface geology with a query param, which I'll show you how to do today as well. So you should be able to do all of this stuff. Yes, I'll show you. The search param.
Yeah.
You should be able to do all this stuff by the time we're done today. The only thing you'll probably have to look up is how to do these animations. So I would leave that for last, but we should be at a point where you can build this in 2 weeks. It's essentially a page with 1, 2, 3 components in it, right? The buttons is another one, so 4 components and then a nav. Okay, so you'll be able to reuse all of this and just pass in whatever data comes back and images. So I would like you to do it without looking up how to do this specific app. You can go look up how do I do, animations, how do I do routing, but I don't want you to watch a YouTube video of somebody building this. So
Between the last 2 things we've done, it's pretty much all we've done.
Mhm. Right. So you should have the skill set to be able to do this, and you can do it with CSS if you want to make CSS files for everything. You can do it with Tailwind if you want to use Tailwind for it. If for some reason you learned Bootstrap, which I didn't teach you on purpose, then you can use Bootstrap. You're welcome to do the CSS and the styling however you want to do. If you want to use at work right now, what we use is styled components, which I haven't shown you. But it's essentially like you create a component and you give it styling right in place. So, which I will eventually teach you, but probably not for this project. So, but you're welcome to look up styled components and use it if that's what you want to do. So totally up to you. as far as how you want to structure this. I want it in React with React Router, and I'll have all of this written in Google Classroom in the assignment, so you don't have to remember all of this. I just wanted to show it and go through any questions anybody had before I get the assignment done and out. Any
Yeah.
questions?
Well,
So
yeah,
the only
I'll
thing we
do.
haven't done is the transition.
Yep. And we've done transitions,
Right.
so
Look
just
how many
image to
quads are
image
going.
is, you can look up how to do that. But the rest of it should be easy. This background image, I think, is just one thing of stars, and it's just repeating over and over and over. So you're welcome to make it so it scrolls or so it stays without moving, however you want to do. As far as the background goes, you probably have enough that it does go down. And there will be breakpoints. So here's tablet and mobile. So I'll have all the designs for all of that. And you can see that on mobile, there's this nav bar here. So, which I don't think we've ever built one of those, have we? Okay.
Oh, I like the little icons there.
So I'll give you all the icons. You don't have to come up with any of this stuff. You're welcome to not use the icons that come with it and use like hero icons if you want, which we have been using in our maps thing or flags thing, right? So, and I'll give you the colors.
Those are nice.
I'll give you the colors for everything, but if you use Tailwind, like you're welcome to just get the closest color to the design. It doesn't have to be exact. No, this guy did CSS, and he used, do you remember the CSS method we used where you name everything with underscores and stuff? BEM. So he did all of his in BEM. So this was one of my students at the other place that I was teaching online. So this is where the buttons go on mobile though. And then the cards become this at the bottom. And the image goes on top of the text here. So you'll need to figure out how to move these above and to the side and everything. So most likely you can use Grid or Flexbox to do this. But like I said, you're welcome to look up methods of doing things, just not this exact project. So, okay? All right, any questions? Okay, like I said, I'll get you all the designs. It'll pretty much just be screenshots of what he has, because I don't have the designs. I'm gonna steal it all, because I like this one. They have another one that's similar-ish. I thought I had another. Huh.
So the background isn't one photo. Like if you're using the background,
It's one photo, but it repeats, not randomly.
oh, it's not one star, it's like a photo with just
Yeah. I'll give you that photo. So, they have another one that's similar, but I don't remember if I was looking at it somewhere. It's like a NASA thing. These are all the ones I was going through to decide what we were going to do. Anyway, but it has a lot less information. I think this one will be better. So, okay, so that will be due on the 22nd. Okay, and then we will do another Front-End Mentors project through the 6th of October. And then on the 6th of October, we will start doing Node. So sometime probably during this last week of September, I will introduce Node, and we'll start building some stuff out together. In this week, maybe this 22nd, we might do that. So we're going to start learning how to build an API, how to use Express, how to tie that into a NoSQL database, which is just basically JSON, okay, and use a database. So we'll use MongoDB and Mongoose to talk to it. So these are all libraries that we're going to use to build out Node. And we're going to build a to-do app, the back end for our to-do app, so that you can then take your to-do app that you have now, give it some styling, probably similar to this to-do app that's in the front-end mentors. Okay? But then you'll tie it to your own back-end Node app. And that will be kind of our big project at the end. So we'll learn how to do Node, and then from the 6th through the end of October, each sprint will work on something new for the to-do app, okay, until it's done. And then in November, we'll take this week off, which is Thanksgiving week. Okay, so we'll only have 3 weeks in November and then like 1 day at the end of November. So we'll be working on the to-do app through the end of October, possibly into November. And we'll have this week off. And in these weeks, we will be planning and starting the final capstone project. So final capstone project is the reason I had Christian join today, because we want to be able to hit the ground running in those weeks. We want you guys to start thinking about what you're going to do for your capstone project, start coming up with ideas, and in probably not this sprint, maybe this sprint, it'll post somewhere during the middle if it is. I'm going to post an assignment to submit 3 ideas for capstone. So you need to come up with 3 different things that you could do, and I'll have further details around what you need to submit with it. And it may be 2, but at least 2, maybe 3 ideas will need to be submitted, and then Rich and I will review your ideas and approve one of them. So we'd like to.
Suggestions?
Yes, we'll give some suggestions. And ideas around how to find capstone projects. But yeah, I'll give you, in whatever thing I post, will have a ton of information in it. And I haven't posted it yet because I haven't finished all of that, but I want to let you know it's coming so you can start thinking about, from your skill set and what you know we are going to be learning between now and capstone, what you'll be able to do and what you want to do. Okay? So as far as backend APIs, we'll pretty much just do CRUD, which is create, read, update, and delete, right? So that's what we'll do with the to-do. So you'll know how to do that stuff. It won't get much more in depth than that. If you decide you want to do more backend programming, then we'll suggest some different things to do, but we won't get into that in this boot camp. We never were planning to. It was more going to be front-end focused. So, but you'll be able to put, I can do REST APIs in Node as well on your resume, okay? So yeah, but in November, probably towards the end of November, is when capstone will start. We'll spend all of December doing capstone. I think we'll probably take the 2 weeks that school is out off. Okay. And then January, so you can work on it during that time if you want, but then I expect that January you'll still be working on your capstone project. We won't be having class in January. But support will still be available. We can do online meetups. We can meet up at Starbucks. We can, you guys can reach out to each other. January 31st will be the date that the capstone project is due. So that's a Tuesday. And then we'll review those and have some sort of ceremony / like show and tell for all of your capstone projects, plus like graduation. I don't think we can give certificates yet because we're not licensed to give certificates. We'll still give you some sort of piece of paper that says it's an unofficial certificate of some sort. So, a diploma of sorts
Yep.
that you can frame and put it next to your computer that nobody will ever see because you work remotely.
No, I'm gonna.
And you can hold it up and be
I
like,
walk down the street. It's gonna be on the hood of my car. I'm sorry, bro. This is
So-
intense. This has been intense. So I want to show everybody.
yeah. So, but January 31st, so I know we were going to end at the end of the year. We will end classes at the end of the year, but I don't think we'll be able to get capstone done until January 31st because we've gotten slightly behind.
And there's holidays.
Yes, plus there's holidays. Summer threw us off for a loop a little bit.
COVID threw us off.
COVID threw us for a loop a little bit, so
Good 3-4
yeah.
minimum.
Yeah. And
One time.
And we want to make sure that we get through this and then can support you all to find employment before we really push off the next.
Next week.
So for the capstone projects, are we still meant to potentially be teaming up with like a local business or nonprofit to do
Keep playing basketball.
a project for them?
The what?
Like initially we were going to be working with like a business or nonprofit of ours who needs to.
Yeah, so that can totally be your capstone. That would be my preference is that we reach out to some different businesses and.
I have a list of businesses too that are interested, so
Okay.
I don't know if you want to.
Yes, I would love that list so that we can put it in. Part of the capstone project will be that you'll each be your own product manager and project manager, and you'll work directly with your own client and talk to them. So, Kashi, you want to go with Mama? Hey, take these two.
Where did you get those?
I bought them at the store when we went earlier.
Right in a minute. See you guys later. Yeah. Part of the whole process of being.
We're not worried about breaking it, just losing it. So, yeah, so that would be my preference is that you find a company that needs a website or a web application that you can build. I would prefer that nobody does like a brochure site for their capstone. Brochure being like, yeah, just the page, right, that talks about a dentist office. It would be nice if you had some way of collecting information for people. So that's the reason that we're gonna have you look at doing a couple of them. For the proposal, you don't need to talk to the companies yet. If you give us a proposal that we like and then you go to the company and they're like, we're not interested, then that's why we're gonna do a few. So you can go to another one. But I would prefer that it's some sort of application as opposed to just a marketing site. But a marketing site also would be okay as long as it's more than some of the little things that we built, right? It needs to be a capstone. So it should be the hardest thing you're building. And you're gonna have 2 to 2.5 months to build it. So as long as you stay focused and motivated, you will finish it. So, like I said, you'll have support, even if we don't want to pay for the 808 just to do work days out of it. And so we're gonna end the 808 at the end of December, and then we'll renew it when we need it eventually. So, like I said, I live by that coffee place, Dark Horse. I know it's not close for everybody, but if people want to meet up there or at Starbucks out in the Hui or wherever, we can totally plan meetups and go through stuff and work together on stuff. I'm happy to jump on Google Meetups during the day. I have time typically. I'll give you all my Calendly link that shows whatever time I'm available, and you can just schedule stuff right on my calendar. Let me know that you scheduled it, because sometimes it'll just go and I'll be like, oh, okay. Nobody told me.
So what is the plan about these here?
The computers?
Yes.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, you haven't told
These are Rich's computers.
Okay. 'Cause
So-
because I just need to know when we have to turn it back in.
I would assume that when you get your first job, your employer will give you a computer. This is not my computer. I've never owned my own computer.
Okay.
So, and at that
You
point,
never owned your own computer?
no, that's not true.
God, Kristen.
13 years ago, I bought my first and only MacBook ever that I owned. And I bought it because I was in school and I needed one. But as soon as I got my first job, I gave that MacBook to my wife, and she had it until it blew up. So the battery expanded, and
Literally.
yeah. I think that was one of the ones that you could replace the battery with. We got a replacement battery, and
First
then
computer.
yeah.
Stupid LimeWire.
Oh yeah, LimeWire blew up your battery.
Yeah, it blew up my computer. It
Yeah.
just did it. All that downloaded music crap.
Yes. So that was my first laptop I ever bought. I have owned other computers, but they were not laptops,
Okay.
not dev worthy. I had ones that I did video editing on when I was a kid. So I used to run a video editing shop
Wow.
in high school. Yeah.
That's so
So, but yeah. So, any questions on timeline?
No,
Everybody feel good about that?
Yeah, thank you.
that's great.
Okay.
Just as far as that meeting with you, how many meetings are you hoping that we'll have in
I'm
like January?
I'm thinking. Oh, January wise, whatever you guys need. So, if you want to do physical meetups, I can probably still plan to do Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And then if we need to switch it to different nights, I can. As far as online, I'm happy to, as long as I don't have meetings for work, I should be fine. I've been really unhappy at work lately,
Yeah.
so hopefully nobody sees this YouTube video.
Yeah.
But
That's not-
it's also not a secret. I've talked to a few people about it. But I talked to somebody yesterday, and they were feeling the same way as me. And we both were like, I don't want to leave, though. Like, I'm in this weird, like, I like who I work with. I like the products we're working on. I'm unhappy with how they've treated the employees up to this point. And so I don't think I could go somewhere else and get the same work-life balance that I have right now.
Right.
And so that weirdly like energized me today, and I've been a lot happier.
Okay.
So, but I was super salty for a while. So
It's hard to tell
yeah,
because he's always in super salty mode.
I am
Keep that
always
stone face.
always a salt thrower of sorts.
Salt thrower.
Never happy. Thanks for noticing.
We can crack a smile at you, but you're pretty much.
Oh yeah,
My poker face is here.
I can legit just sit and not smile.
Bro,
Anything.
your poker face. I want to play poker. You're on my side. We want to play poker, man. because
The only
you got
problem
that.
is I don't know how to play.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I just like to say I do.
I can bluff, but I'll be bluffing all the time.
Yeah,
So
right,
it won't be a surprise because I'll be like, I don't know what this means.
Can't read them.
Can't read him because he has no idea what he's doing. He's like, I got these. It'd be like when you were a kid and you went to the store and you're like, how much is this by me? Can I have this Twix?
It's a great asset of yours, by the way, that you have a poker face.
Yeah. So,
Okay, and then as far as one-to-one, like, between, like now and starting now, I guess?
yes, so what's
How often are you hoping to meet with each of us individually?
probably
How
once
often
once a
are
month,
you
probably.
messaging you?
Probably once a month for the rest of it, one-on-ones is my plan. I'm just gonna plan to do them at 5:30 here and hope that the 808 doesn't notice that we took an extra half hour.
I'm here every day at 4:30.
It'll be fine.
And they don't, she doesn't say
Is
anything.
there anybody in here?
No,
Okay.
just that one Asian guy.
I'm just, yeah, like for every first Thursday or something like that, he's here. So I'll probably try not to do the first week of the month, but where there's only 4 of you, it'll only take me 2 weeks to get through one-on-ones. So there will be 2 weeks out of the month that we don't do one-on-ones. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try and plan it around when projects are finished, so we can also go over the projects together in the one-on-one. I'd like to see how you're doing, and then also see how the project went so that I have an understanding of where everybody's at.
Okay.
So, and I'm sorry I haven't done that up to this point because I should have been doing it the whole time. But just kind of, we're all trying to figure it out. So,
It's great. I don't mind.
So-
I don't mind being that initial. It's
I'm gonna
good.
stop sharing my screen.
It's good.
So yeah, I did email back to Brightspace and told them that I'm happy to come talk to them. They emailed me like in May, so I haven't heard back from them. They're probably like, whatever. We don't care anymore. So yeah, I can see myself in your glasses.
Wow.
Well,
Is it your glasses or is it the glitter that I see myself in?
this is the.
Oh, look at the glitter.
Yeah, I can still see myself in the glitter.
Wow, I can see it. Yeah, I see. Is those fake eyelashes?
No, he's just putting mascara on.
Put mascara.
Really long, beautiful eyelashes.
Oh, I got mascara.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Have fun washing your face.
That's what I'm gonna
You
do.
need a cake.
All that
You need a
glitter's gonna get,
spatula.
all that
You need a
glitter in your
spatula.
eyes is gonna really be nice.
You're gonna have glitter for
No, my
days.
sisters have like a soap for me that they told me like this will help. This will work.
It won't. It won't. You're gonna have glitter on your face.
Glitter's like herpes, it never goes away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what you said.
That was a good
It's
one.
true.
That one.
That's a true statement.
And it's equally contagious.
It's definitely inappropriate, but true.
I like it.
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for that from you right now.
It was the poker face up to it. I lied. I think at this point we would have noticed.
The glitter is like, the glitter is
Yeah.
in the corner of your eye.
Eyelashes are just fucking too fire. Yeah.
But Christian, I'm confused because the glitter is like in the corner of your eye, like you're crying, bro. Are you
Yeah,
crying?
it does look like you've got tears.
It's so pretty.
You're so cry, baby. You're a little
I'm
cry.
not gonna cry.
Okay, don't cry. Well, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
You too.
Now, when are you coming home?
You come home Saturday?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Quick trip.
nice.
I'll be back by like 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe 5.
Yeah. Hopefully you get some sleep tonight and on the plane. If you stay up with us, you won't get any sleep tonight.
No, I'll get 3 hours.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
But I'll sleep on the plane, so it'll be okay.
Sure. If you can sleep on planes.
Very confident in that.
Wait, where are you at? Are you in Chicago?
Well, Indiana.
No, I'm in Arkansas.
Oh, that's Arkansas?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what my residence is.
okay. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna go back to the stream. Did you find the stream?
Cool. Well, I know like where the channel is, but the stream was, what you sent me was September 6th.
I didn't send you a stream, did I?
No, you didn't send me a stream.
I didn't send you a stream. I can go look for it. It usually emails it to me
Okay.
when I start the stream. So there's going to be some stream of
Alright.
our meeting here. So yeah, if you have extra things you want to talk, that you want to look back at, and if you want to remember Christian's eye makeup, it's all in this stream.
I'll start the stream like this. Just blinking.
We're definitely playing this video on our graduation night.
Well, we just going to take a picture. Got it. It's a good one.
Yeah, for this, he was, he posed. You got it.
What should we name this emoji?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. I like it.
I'm gonna do emoji. That's what
Welcome
I'm
to the club.
Welcome, my friend.
Yours looks way prettier than mine though. I can't wait to see this. Use it.
There you go. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, fabulous.
See ya.
Bye.
Fast, fast.
All right. The other thing, which he'll see this in the YouTube video, there's this site that Rich sent me, and I've been going through it just to see what it's like. It's called Exorcism. It has different tracks. Okay. I'll put a link in the Google Classroom. I'm not going to make this required. It'll just be a resource. But I'll show you. So you can go into different tracks, and then there's like a syllabus and exercises. The exercises, I think, are all locked when you first get in here. There might be some that are not. I haven't done any of these, so I don't know what they entail. Yeah, they're locked until you go through the syllabus. So I haven't done any of these. I don't know how hard they are. It looks like they have stuff that says that they're easy or medium. So, but in the syllabus, there's like this tree of things. The top one is information, and the bottom one is a project. So if you go in here, you get basic information. Most of this should be kind of, it tells you how to do variables. It tells you whatever. So the cool thing about this is you can install a command line script with Brew, which you all have used and have installed, so that you can run. So here's, once you've gone through this information here on the left, then there's this exercise to do over here. Okay, so you'll go over here, and this is a learning exercise that will then open other exercises up. So I guess I maybe have done some of the exercises. Yeah, because I'm working on this one right here. So I've done some of the exercises that are tied to, so I've completed 20 of them. There's 20 of them that are locked and 98 that are available. Some of them become available as you finish other ones. I have only done the ones that are directly tied to the syllabus. So you can see down here, I have this one's in progress. I can do this one and this one because I've done something around here. I can't do anything with this yet because I first have to finish this one, and then I can do that one.
Are they all things that we want to be able to do?
Yes, everything here is things that you should be able to do, and for the most part, you've already learned how to do all of this. The cool thing is there's no right or wrong way to do it. So the way they do it is, well, there's two ways you can do it. You can either do it right here in the editor. They have an editor here. So you can hit open editor, or if you want to work locally, you click this guy here and follow the instructions to install. It's pretty easy. I think this is actually the installation. And then it's going to give you an API token, and you just put it in here like this. And then this stuff, you just copy it. You don't have to remember hardly any of this. It's good to read through it, but it just gives you this exorcism command line utility app, okay? And so back there, if I can get back, come on. Here, if you want to work locally, you click this thing, and it'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you come into VS Code. So this is the one I'm working on. So you would come in here and paste it into your, you'd paste it into your terminal, and if you hit enter, then it will download it and install it. It puts it in tilde exorcism, JavaScript is the track, and then whichever one you're working on. Okay, so then what I did is I just opened up as a project the JavaScript folder, exorcism/JavaScript, as a project in VS Code. And then these are all the ones that I've worked on or done. And then once you get it down here, you just run npm install and then npm run watch, which is in the package JSON here. So we can go through this maybe next time, okay? So everybody can see how to do it. But you'll just run this watch command. You can run the test one, but the watch one will change. It'll run it every time you change anything. So you can see here, I'm running it. I'm just going to close this one so you can see. And all this is unit tests. Okay, so it's running these unit tests against the file that you're working on. So this is seeing double. These are all transformations in arrays. So this one wants me to double every card. So we've done stuff like this, right? Map and times 2 on it. This one wants to triple all the 3s. So if it's a 3, then I triple it. Otherwise, I just give it back, right? This one wants the 2 middle cards. It'll always be a deck of 10. So, so you can download it. You can also open it in the editor like this and work on it straight right here. Okay, and you can run the tests once you change things. If you like working here, I prefer working in my own editor, so that's why I really like this one. A lot of things have this online thing. I don't really like the online editor thing. I would prefer to work in my own environment, so I like the other one. When you come back to, let's see, where is it? Basics. Okay, so on the page where you download it from, there's the instructions of what to do. So it'll tell you first, it usually has a little story about who you're working for or what you're working on, right? And then it'll first say like, you need to, so this lasagna one is the very first one. It says you need to define a constant and it needs to be set to 40. Then you need to run this remaining minutes function and check that versus the amount of time that's, so that makes sense. Like you'll read through these and then you'll go look at the code and write the code for that piece. And then that piece will usually have just one section of tests like this. Okay, so if we were to look at the lasagna one, I think it was, actually I'm gonna keep that open. If we go look at this lasagna one, and I was to go into here and go to, is it just called lasagna? Yeah. Okay, and I run watch on here, then I would have this expected minutes in oven. If I come back here, this is the first one. So there's 4 of these, and there's also 4 sections of tests. So as you finish each of these, you should get green check marks here, right? So you saw the rest of them had X's, red X's. Okay, so as you, I think the first one was that it needed this constant, and it has to be exported so that the test can get it. Once that constant was there and was defined correctly and had the right number, then this one passes. And then you can also go look at those. So here's all the tests in the spec. So you can see expected minutes in oven matches that. Here's the test. It's expecting that this, which can be imported from my file, is equal to 40, right? So it's just running unit tests to make sure that when it runs my function, it does what it's wanting to do.
Isn't that format inside of the thing too, like if you don't do it in your Node.js?
Yeah, so all of this stuff was, you mean if it's in here? If I go to this open in editor?
Yeah.
Yep, so there was, here's task 1, you should do this thing, you can hit jump to instructions and read the actual instructions here. So if you want to do it here, that's totally fine too. And then you can, once you change stuff, right, like if I came in here, it already has it because I already finished it. So it took what I already submitted it, and so it took what I submitted. You have not made any changes since you last left. So let's, I've made a change, I can run the test, okay, and see the results, and it shows me all these are done, right? So, and then once you're completely done, all the tests are passing. So let's comment this one out, and I'll run it. And task 1 should all of them should fail because they all depend on that one. Oh, these 2 fail. So then you can see, okay, this is what's not working. Jump to instructions, see how to do it. like I said, I prefer it in my own environment, and then I can see all the tests. Here, I don't think you can actually see what the tests are. It just shows you what failed. I guess it shows you this is what was expected. It expected 40 and got undefined. But if you run it locally, you can come into the test and be like, I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do, I guess, because I thought I was doing it and it's not working. And you can read the tests and kind of try and piece together what they're expecting that you didn't do. So they get harder each one, more complex. They become more complex as far as like the different topics as well. But so far I haven't gotten to any of them where it was like, I think anybody will get really stuck. There's going to be times where you'll be like, I have no idea how to do this, and have to kind of work through it, read the test, figure it out. So the cool thing about exorcism is, like I said, I'm not going to make it an assignment that you have to do, but it's completely free, right? It's all based on, I don't know how they make money outside of donations, I guess. But they have this request mentoring. And maybe this is another way, I don't know, I thought this was free. Send this link to a friend for private mentoring. Yeah, I don't know. So, but supposedly they have mentors that you can hook up with if you're having struggles. This must go through how the mentoring works, and maybe this is like an upsell. They also have Discord somewhere, I think. So you can jump in Discord and like talk to other people that are also running through the same track as you, and I thought there was maybe the Discord's at the bottom. I thought there was a way that you could chat with other people that were doing it, and I thought it was with Discord.
This is all JavaScript, right? And React?
This one's all JavaScript. There's not a React track. React is just JavaScript, right? So as long as if you're doing this, you'll learn the topics from React, and React will get more and more intuitive as you're building it. But the stronger you become in JavaScript, the easier React will become. So, yeah, I thought there was let me go into one of these and see. I thought there was more than just that mentoring link.
I like this, the format, how to organize.
Yeah.
Good.
So they also have solutions when you're done, then this unlocks. Mentoring unlocks when you're done too. Shoot, I thought there was a way to, somewhere I'll find it, but I thought there was a Discord or yeah, I thought there was one, but maybe I was dreaming it. So, but yeah, so it's really kind of cool. These are all the programming languages they do. So when you're done with JavaScript, you can switch over and do Swift, learn how to do mobile apps. There's Python. So after I'm going to get kind of through the JavaScript a little bit, and then I was planning to do Python because I'm not very good at Python. I'd like to get better. Golang is another one I'd like to do. Rust is another one. They have a bunch of stuff in here that would be awesome. Swift would be cool. Kotlin would be cool. So that will be the really nice thing, is being able to kind of go through and learn different languages too. So Exorcism, and it's all free. Like I said, I think they make their money maybe off of donations, and maybe that mentoring thing is, did it say right there how they contribute or help us? It's open source and not for profit. So it's pretty cool. So somebody Rich knows sent this to him. He sent it to me to look at. I think it'd be good. I'm not gonna make, like I said, we don't have time to make this into like a thing that you have to do, but I think it would be a really good thing for everybody to consider doing in conjunction with things that you're working on. And the nice thing is you can pull it up, do a task here or there, and then be done with it, and not have to feel like I got to do the whole thing, right? So I threw it in engineering resources. You're welcome to look at it. So yeah, cool.
That's a good resource for future students to do.
Oh, yeah.
With their time.
Yeah. So, I do feel like when I jumped into JavaScript, I feel like if you have never done any JavaScript, it wouldn't be like a intuitive, like, what am I doing? You know, like maybe with the online editor, but it still I think would be like a little bit like, I don't understand any of what's on the screen right now. It would be a little intimidating for somebody that's never done any of it. I think for you guys it'll be fine. But yeah, I'd love to find something that we can send to prospective students to have them do. I think I'm gonna have to create it though. So I've seen some stuff that's done, and we've considered like just basically having them do other people's stuff and send it to us. But we don't want to get in trouble if those people are upset by it. So, but this is a pretty cool platform. So, and like, it has this your journey. You can see all of your stats and everything. It gives you badges. So you get reputations. Anybody can sign up apparently to be a mentor. And you can do all sorts of stuff. So you can see this little web thing that you can create your own challenges apparently. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that, because it's open source and nonprofit, they rely on community to keep it going. So, but let's see, here's the badges. I only have 2 badges. So sort by unrevealed first, and then I have all this reputation. You get reputation each time you do something. So it's pretty cool. So, all right, let's take a short break. And then when we get back, we'll work on the country stuff. Cool.
Real time now.
That's exactly where.
No, it's just funny because it feels like a finish line. They came in class today, the energy just changed. It feels like now we're stretching out, the home stretch. Time to get super serious.
I'm like, how much more time can I possibly put into this to get
Yeah,
more time?
that's where I'm like.
Like
That
something
is-
has to give, something needs to
I have to
change.
change, yeah.
Maybe I need to start going to Starbucks.
Yeah, we see
I
there's a
want
change
to
of
have fun.
environment.
Yeah, I feel like at home now it's like I just dread taking out the trash.
Yes, and just,
It didn't used to be like that.
so what I did to exercise that is like when I'm feeling that, you just open it up anyways.
Yeah.
And just do something. Like
Yeah.
even if it's not, I like when I'm feeling, I'm like, I think of how bad that is. I'm like, that will ruin
Yeah.
everything if I
Yeah.
still feel that way.
Yeah.
But I still
I
feel
feel
that
like
way
it
all
was,
the time.
I did do that.
What about
like,
here?
last week, yeah, but now
Same?
it's so
Here.
I
Oh,
try, but I'll just end up doing it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Might turn it
Yeah.
up a little bit, it's like 64.
Oh, yeah, I turned it down. It was 70, I turned it down to 60 something.
Yeah, but it moves my brain. Yeah, let's go to Starbucks and stuff.
That's the spot. The one in Capal is much better.
What one?
The-
Starbucks in the car.
Yeah, compared to the one in the hood. Well, they're both great, but there's so much, because when I go to one in Capaldi, it's so less active,
Really?
and there's so many more spots that are like, I don't know, I just feel like there's no distraction. Whereas when I'm in the one, the small little one in the Hui, it's just like there's two people coming through both doors, and
Well, yeah,
And
it's
it's constant-
smaller
yeah,
and
smaller.
it's more busier.
yeah,
It's the
and
same
a little bit more light,
space.
there's more light, and so people always, and then people always for some reason come and talk. Which that's not a problem, say hi to people, but it's like, when I'm in Capaldi, like, no, I don't know, maybe I don't know anybody, but nobody's messing with me, they just come and get their coffee and leave. So I started going to the one in Capaldi, which was, yeah, exactly.
What
Yeah.
about what's the one that's on Rice Street?
Oh yeah, that one. That's what is it used to be called?
Coffee?
Yeah, it used to be
Yeah.
down
What is
down
it,
Rose-
something else
That's
now?
all coffee. It's
Well, it's
all-
still hot coffee.
Mhm.
Yeah, that place is big.
Yeah, I like that place. It's really nice.
Does it have tables to work on and stuff?
Yeah, oh, they have a lot of. In fact, you go in, you usually have your own table to yourself when it's a big
Yeah,
Oh, you
table.
have to pay though for Wi-Fi?
No, I didn't. Not me. They could have changed, but when I
They
That would
finished,
be a good
they
time.
used to be down the street, right?
Yep,
And they
right-
were with a
right, yeah.
co-working space.
yep,
Oh, really?
yeah, because they had a co-working space.
It's
So you
the
can
one
get-
that's the
That's right. I
the
forget you've
one
been
at
here
the-
that long.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
across from
it's
that
different
bread.
now.
Yeah.
It's not by the dentist's office, it's by the brewery.
It's
Yeah,
It's in the
it's
brewery.
by the-
They
yeah.
use the brewing. It's the How Cafe during the day and at night. It's
No way.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Cause I
Five brewer?
Yep. So basically, because they use the same dining room for Hall Cafe, and then at 12 o'clock they switch over. Yeah. So
at
sit
noon
down
they
and-
switch.
Huh?
At noon,
I think
So is it-
noon or 11. It's one of those times they switch, or it could be 1 o'clock. But right now,
switches to the brewery.
Huh?
They just kick everybody out at
yeah.
lunchtime.
Well, they just say to let you know that when they're switching over. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Coffee
really?
to
and
beer.
you have to leave actually
So
You should.
hot coffee is only available for working until like noon.
till noon, and then they switch over and you have to leave.
Nobody wants to work on their computer in a brewery anyway.
Oh, the beer's on my computer. Oh, well, there you go.
Coffee doesn't fall on
No,
computers.
coffee doesn't fall on computers. Usually, it keeps you more alert.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? They go from coffee to beer. I guess
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. They
I
should
mean,
make
I
that.
guess
It is.
here's the thing though.
Utilize
Most of the
space.
people I work with are done working around 1
Yeah,
here. So
I think it is one. I think
you know, it's like 4 o'clock
Yep.
at noon if they switch over. And then if I drank, I could just be like,
Yep.
Yeah.
happy hour.
Whiskey for Wabushka.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You start
Jump on meetings and-
talking your Russian language. Oh, Wabushka. Hey,
Hey, babushki.
Wabushki.
But yeah, so we almost did the spot where hot coffee used to.
Used to be, yeah, that was
Yeah.
nice.
I
That's
could
nice.
never.
what's that
I
right
could
now?
never. It's nothing.
They're not using it for
That's a
anything.
good big space.
That is a big
Yeah.
space.
There's no parking.
There isn't.
Yeah, I
sir.
remember
So-
I said that.
You have to. They told us that the overflow is like at the Ace,
Yep.
which is like a block and a half away.
It's a block and a half.
Oh, it's not.
It's not that bad unless it's raining.
Unless it's raining.
And then when you have a computer that you're trying to bring with you, it's like.
Well, actually, yeah, that stretch is actually really dangerous. Like I've heard
Yeah.
some, which I don't say that
Yes.
about all places.
It is. It's a
but
funny
in front of
area.
Colorado Village,
I've driven down
and
that
at the time,
road and-
that would be a bad idea.
And anything goes on that street.
Yeah, it's just so weird because that's
So
so good idea for you.
yeah, we could never get a hold of the realtor either.
Oh, okay.
So I talked to some of the other businesses over there, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll send you the realtor," and then they never did. And I was like, they probably didn't want the traffic,
Yeah.
like because we
Like,
we were like
everyone just
we were
keep
talking
it
about
empty,
doing our
please.
own like co-working space along with this, and probably when they heard that, we're like, "Don't give that guy our information at all, because we don't want all that co-working people back."
Right, yeah.
Because it was
That was a big
Kilahana Work or whatever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Kilhana?
The one that's in the mall.
Oh.
I'm not sure where is
I don't know
that
what
place
that's
that
called,
you're
and I have,
talking
It
about?
I
looks-
always look for it and I've never.
It's right next to the sandwich store.
Yeah, right next to.
Like down by is it Macy's?
Oh, it's
Bread
right
and
there.
deli, right
That's
next
a
to Bread and
co-working
Deli.
thing at the.
I didn't even think about that. though, with
It looks
the
like a
mall.
furniture
I don't-
store.
Yeah, it does.
That's a
There's
It's
usually
always
like
empty and
it's
it's
like one
glass
person
doors.
maybe there,
Yeah.
and they're never unlocked even when the person's there because they give all their members a key box code, and so you just get in the box and open
Yeah.
the back door and come in through the back. So yeah, we talked to them too, and there just
Mall.
wasn't a good
You
space.
talked to them all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They
That's
they were
actually-
kind of like,
They're so funny.
It's gonna be expensive anyways, so.
yeah.
I mean, if McDonald's can't stick around.
They were-
Yeah, right?
Because McDonald's was right there next to Fun Factory and they couldn't stick around? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were kind of like, I don't know if we want like another education thing here.
Or another education thing. We rather have like
Yeah.
misfits and.
God forbid you serve your.
Yeah.
That's not that. I'm done with
They were
that.
funny about it.
Old school.
Makes sense.
But it was a smaller space for more money too. The other place that we were thinking we could look at was the community college. At the time, they wanted anybody that came on campus had to have a COVID shot and had to have their
That's
they
right.
had to have their proof with it. And even though there was no masks anywhere on the island, they still wanted masks on the campus. And there was a whole bunch of like weird regulation stuff that we had to do, and we're like, we'll find somewhere else.
I know it's like way out of the way, but I wonder about like Kahili classrooms.
What's Kahili?
Where your kids go
Where
to
you
school.
went to Alaki.
Oh, okay. I bet I could get that. I run a code
And
club
I
for
can
them.
go- we could both go at it from both angles, cause I know Kanan and you know the school.
Yeah.
Who's the whole, who takes?
Yeah,
the whole
well,
campus?
yeah, he manages over and
Yeah.
So I use their library once a week to teach coding to the kids up there.
That could maybe be a potential.
The library wouldn't work for us. There's no TV, there's no projector. I'm gonna try and get one this year. The classrooms, I don't know how if they have. They must have projectors in the classrooms. So, yeah, I think the classrooms would be fine if the teachers would be okay with us using one of the classrooms. Maybe the 4th grade teacher I might be able to convince because we're friends with her. So, that's a cool
Kanan would be
classroom
the
too.
one to convince, I think.
Who?
Kanan, the one who manages. Although it's not technically his, well, it kind of is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just trying to, yeah, the idea of bringing more people in, I think, might throw him off. But it's only a small class, so I don't see why.
Like I said, yeah, space is available.
What's that?
The building I told you.
Oh, yes, I
The plantation building
We
on
need
Rice
to go
Street.
check.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
By First Time Bank on Rice Street. Where he's.
Oh, behind,
Yeah.
So-
Where you went, you know what it looks like. I don't know.
So yeah, we can look for another
You
spot,
know the cafe
and
in-
worst case we'll just come back here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do it
oh,
different.
Great spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there's other options.
up that way though is further for
It
everybody.
is, that's the one thing, is that it's not super.
And then if there is traffic, then it's harder to get to.
No, I don't think it'll get much harder than this.
Oh, gosh, it's so,
This traffic.
an hour every class.
Yeah, we don't get.
On the
home
way
till
home, right?
10:15.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
But on the way here,
Okay.
there's once you get past this light,
Yeah.
Right.
around
right
around
after-
5ish.
Yeah.
Today wasn't bad.
Six.
Yeah,
Cause
sometimes
every
there's days where
is
it
out of
doesn't.
six.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried about it because I
I
didn't
definitely
leave.
do the back roads because
My
of that.
my meeting was at the church over by Walmart, and I was like, and I didn't leave till 2 minutes before 6.
Mm.
So I got out here and there was no traffic. But, Yeah, a lot of times it backs all the way up to Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
If I'm late for work for the Hyatt, I'm late
Yeah.
for work.
Yeah, I don't go
Yeah.
that way. I go the back way,
Combination
past
of
Costco and all that.
and
Yeah, yeah.
the school
That's
getting
what I
out
do.
at the same
Yeah, that's what I was
time.
gonna do if it was backed up. But every time I got to a light, the next light I could see and was fine. I was like, okay, I'll just keep going.
Yeah, I turn left right there at
I don't really think about it. and then I-
Taco Bell?
WCL. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
If
last
it's not
time
too bad,
it
I go
takes one
down to
go
where
to
the
get
WCA
there.
and then
Sometimes
turn
it
left.
takes two, you know.
Yeah,
but
I had
last
two.
Oh,
time-
why you said-
Oh, no, it wasn't one go.
Yeah, last time.
The couple times before that was
Yeah,
two
it was
full
too full.
sitting
Yeah.
down.
You gotta go temporary.
I'm not good at sitting in traffic. Worse.
I don't know how to
Spoiled
not be
brats
mad
now.
about
I
it.
do. I sit there on my phone the whole time. People that honk at me.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like
too.
this. So that's bad. That's why I'm bad with traffic.
I did it the last time, I won't do that, and then now I'm like, I can't help it.
Oh, we
Yeah.
understood our fortunes.
All right, so we're not doing this. What are we doing?
Countries?
Yes. Okay, so we should have this. Yeah, everybody has this? We need to fix a few things. And look, my quick keys are working today. I don't know what was
We just
wrong
needed a
last
day
time.
off.
Yeah. Well, the next morning they were fine.
Yeah.
It was like,
It's alive, okay?
yeah.
The computer's alive.
So I was very upset.
Yeah, you definitely sounded upset that day. I was like, oh, wow, Magnus' the computer acting up on it.
Yeah.
Hey, that computers have feelings too, bro.
No, this one. This computer has
Oh, my bad.
no feelings.
It's definitely there, you
Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about is there's a couple books that I've read that I think would be good if you're interested. One of them is free. It's 55 pages. It's kind of like a starter for the other one. If you get through the 55 pages and you think I'd like to read the other one, then I would buy the other one and read it. But this one's called the Little CSS book, or the Little CS book. Sorry, not CSS. Yes, I will post links for this in the resources if I can find them.
I'm gonna start bulking up on this. Because in my house, I used to see psychology books. Even when a board is closed, you're giving books away for free. Pretty much, yeah. Back in the day, I bulked up on psychology.
I missed out on that.
Okay, so this is the Little CS handbook. It's core concepts every programmer should know. He tries to go through like what he actually uses on the day to day. This guy's self-taught and doesn't have a CS degree, and this is what he feels like he had to learn. His other book is called The Imposter's Handbook.
Oh, that's neat.
So if you read the first one and you're like, yep, I like this, The Imposter's Handbook is not free. You'll have to pay for it. It's only, I don't think they sell hard copies. It's just available for digital download. But the Little CS book is just a PDF. The Imposter's Handbook comes in all the different, I don't think it has an audio book. I think it'd be really hard to listen to. So it comes in all the different ebook files, I think. So, so let's see, I have it right here. So this is the Imposter's Handbook. He goes through complexity theory, big O, lambda calculus, computation, theory to machinery, data structures, algorithms, programming languages, databases, software design, essential Unix tooling, and then wraps up. So, the Imposter's Handbook is longer. He also touches on a lot of this. I haven't finished reading the Little CS book. I am 27 pages of 55 pages, and he's already covered complexity theory, big O, lambda calculus, computation, and maybe theory to machinery.
So it covers some more stuff.
Yeah.
More in detail.
And he sits and says like this is supposed to be really just quick, right, and easy to understand. And he says if you want to get more into this, then read the other book. And he'll say the other book, and you're like, what other book? So later on, he starts linking to it. But at the first, he says the other book, and you're like, if I didn't know about the other book, I'd have no idea what you're talking about. So, but yeah, so algorithm and data structures is where I'm at now, which is this. So he did all of this already in the first 20 pages, but at very just high level. And in these, he really digs into them so that if you were to get a job and they were asking you about big O, you could understand what that is. Okay, so I'll post links for all this, but those would be good readings to do as well. Okay, Sorry, sidetracked.
751 errors.
Yeah,
I,
No, for
I
your-
swear that this was fully working last time.
yeah, I was
here.
same thing, I thought
So,
I saw it.
One thing to look at whenever you have an error in React, scroll to the top error, and as you read through it, so you saw when I took a picture of Sharice's error and sent it back to her. So make this bigger so you can read it. So you've got type error, val less, index of is not a function in number format. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see number format at div at data row. So somewhere your data row is upset with you. In the dashboard card, somewhere in the
Dashboard or
in card.js,
So where's my number?
you're using data row.
Number.
So it would only have anything to do with the ones that you have is number, right? So this is what it is. You're sending a number format to a number format. Yeah, because if you go to data row, if you click on it, or does that not take you to data row? So right now you have it so that if you have a number, it's doing the number format. So you're sending a number format to a number format, and that's probably why you're having an error. You should just send a value and let data row format it. So card.js doesn't need a number format anymore.
So it's like double.
Yeah, so it's like, it's expecting it to get a number, and you're sending it a component.
So all I need to do is put country population and the value.
Yep. And then it should handle the rest of it for you. There you go.
Can I get some more work?
Yes.
I might do this thing, I was trying to listen, but I don't know.
So you fixed your data row thing, huh? Told me, right?
Yeah, I didn't have any problems and then I didn't get to work on it until,
Can't resolve React number format in pages. Dashboard. So go to dashboard, guys. Pages. Go to the top. So you shouldn't need number format anymore in dashboard.js. We got rid of it. We're using the data rows instead.
so this is.
Yeah, go to your data row. Because doesn't it have number format in it?
We have a component in that?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Did you make it yet?
I didn't have a computer.
Oh,
No,
you had the other computer. Is this what we did before you had this
Oh,
other
yeah.
computer?
Yes,
Do you have the other computer?
yeah.
Did we create a link JS?
What?
Did we create a link JS? I don't know, link?
Yeah, no,
No, we never did yet.
it's in React Router.
Okay.
So, if you go to Finder, and go to, and then right click on that, and say open a new tab, or, show and closing folder. Okay, and then go to this tab, you go to AirDrop.
Yes, it is.
pull that tab
It's really
out.
dark.
I
You have to turn it down a little bit. Did you get the middle one? There, turn that one first.
Here.
Oh, yes, perfect.
Is that okay for you guys?
Really dark. I feel like
So
I'm in a,
grab that and pull it to this.
Oh.
I work for a really secret company or like, you know, you ever see those sci-fi movies where,
Just
yeah,
accept.
that,
Susan's wife. Send her pictures of cats. Okay, so now in your downloads, it's coming. Oh, we should have got rid of the node module, but just wait for where it goes. So eventually we'll come down and then you can move it over to wherever the other one is and place everything in there with your new one. But yeah, probably what happened is you import it and but you have
Yeah,
to
I
install
totally
it.
forgot about this.
so, check this.
So right here, I
Go ahead.
can.
Yeah, so open Finder, go to wherever your code is.
This is what I did not put it where it should be, but.
So that's fine. So just now here, there's the folder, just drag it over and
Right.
inside of it, yeah, right there. And save and replace. That's funny. I gave this computer back to Fox yesterday morning at seminary.
This thing is awesome. Okay, that's a good picture. I should close this one.
So, no, this is all your updated code now. Should we see how dashboard's not got that anymore?
Oh, yes.
So if we come here, scroll down to the bottom, Control C, and then start it again, push out.
Oh, this one.
What does it say? Wait, scroll down. Scroll up a tiny bit, there you go. No such file directory, UV, CWD. So let's do it in pin install, just because sometimes when they copy and paste.
It actually feels like 1 a.m.
Let's,
Yeah.
hit the trash
What's
bin,
going on?
and then open it up. Down in. There you go. It was like in a weird state, the terminal was upset because we deleted and so it was probably still tied to the old instance of the files. Sure. Use trash. It's weird. Cool. And we're back. Okay, if I turn this one on,
Just a little bit.
going okay?
Yep.
Okay. So, if we look at the design, the next thing we need is this border countries, right?
Amber, it's not styled, right? Or yours is styled. Oh, no,
This is
that's
just
not.
the design. Mine looks like this.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll fix all the styling after we get all the components. So this is how I program. I get everything on the page and then I style it.
Mhm.
So maybe not the same process you'll end up adopting, but what's happening's
Yeah, I wanted to
Can't
make some,
resolve components link.
I wanted to make some
So,
alterations and fix some stuff, but I guess I.
Go to country.js.
Where you at, country?
It's in pages.
There, down there.
So link should come out of React Router down up here. So just put link, comma, after,
After run?
yeah, or before, comma link,
Okay.
or link, comma, with a capital L.
I have
And
it
then
somewhere else.
delete that one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The whole thing.
Yeah, well, just that row, yeah. Go back and see if that fixed you.
Almost, not quite, I got one more.
Title, we did make a title in components.
We did, huh?
Which component was it complaining? was
There it is,
using
right
title?
there.
Yeah, but it was saying it can't find it.
Oh, okay.
So one of the components just has a wrong. Can't resolve title in. Did you mean title?
I had a lowercase it, because it was uppercase. Well, no, I kept it uppercase, let me just see what I did.
So my guess is either in
It's in one of these.
it's either country or dashboard is where we use title.
Country as country. Yeah, see, I lowercase it.
Yeah, should we use capital?
Yeah, because when I had a capital, it said it was wrong, so that's why I went back and did that.
So now you need to go to the top and import.
That's what it was? Oh, okay, I did that before, gotcha. I should have known that, gosh, that's an easy fix, man. It's an easy fix, not, it slipped past me. Components, yeah, that was components.
Hey, at the top.
I should do it.
I don't know why it's can't go back. Error can't resolve title and components. Go to the title.js file.
Maybe that's in my import.
Dot/title. Resolve title. And source components. Oh, it's in. Is it in card.js? Go to card.js. Yeah, it should be dot/title.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay. That will definitely do it. 100%.
Something's still broken.
No. It's not broken.
I'm not sure.
You just can't see mine.
You're probably never gonna see it again.
No, something's broken.
Something's broken. Okay. Alright, let's see. You want
Go
me
back to the browser because I think it's in the browser that it's broken.
Oh, okay.
Open your console in here.
Oh, you have a link. I have a link too.
Value replaces not a function in number format. So this is what they were dealing with at card. So go to card.
Oh, I
Gotcha.
might want them.
Data row is number.
Maybe something's missing.
No, go to data row. Number value.
There's number. Oh, you know what?
No, this is right. We need to have a at the end of this, right over here, there should be a colon.
Right here?
Not semicolon, colon.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if you can see.
And then value in curly braces.
Okay.
And then save that. Just text that in somewhere. Is it called display text? Go back. It should be this. Oh, it is display type.
There was something, there was one thing that I took a curly brace away from, is number, was it is number somewhere, and I took the curly brace.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Put a curly brace there. And another one after value.
That's what it
So far,
was.
it's just is nothing.
And then take off the curly braces around value.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so and get rid of that one right there. You can keep the space one, but not the other one. Yeah, so yeah, let's go back and look. You still have refresh it. Is it just
Yeah, probably just because,
you just have it on so it keeps all your
exactly. Yep, we're good. We're good. Thank you, sir.
cool.
And I was able to troubleshoot with you. a
You
little
got it, yeah.
Good, man.
You have it. You
Get a
got
little
it.
bit more knowledge.
More comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let us add to the bottom.
Only population.
Who you guys laughing at?
Where's our trouble too?
I don't have his number.
Oh, I only have him in here.
Oh, show him though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. It's never, never get asleep. Well, or all of them. I think that it's, is this it? Is it after this?
Goodbye, Queen Elizabeth. You were great.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll never forget that wedding. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So in Country.js, we also need to add all the buttons.
Okay.
So let's get rid of that. So we should have a string that says border countries and then all of these buttons. And if you notice, this looks very similar to
Yep.
this. So we can just create a new data row. Right? And we can have title equal border countries, and value is going to be why is it mad? Okay. Value is going to be, I'm going to put a div here, or maybe I'll do a span just so that it doesn't break. Okay, and inside the span we're going to put, we'll do a link. Okay, and we'll actually need to link through all of these, right? So we'll have, oh man, that broke. I just need to look at the data so I know what the border country looks like.
Yeah, eliminated the link.
Borders. So it's borders, and then it should have an array of all the borders. So what we're going to do is we're going to say map, or say country dot border dot map create a link here. 2 equals / country / b should be a yes, so we'll have arrays of things, right? Arrays of data, and we'll do a map on that array, and then we'll map it back as JSX. So we create a new array and return a new array of JSX that's using that. Does that make sense?
Sometimes.
Okay. for now, I'm just gonna put this here, because we'll need to have a lookup function that knows how to go look up whatever country that is. That should give us 3 different links under border countries. Oh, it looks like 4 different links on this one. Is that right? Spring. Maybe it's inline flex. Okay, so if I click on one of these, yeah, it should take me to that country. So remember, this is kind of like what we have for our to-do app,
Right.
where we're mapping through all of our to-dos. So because this borders is an array, we can map that array, get the value of each array item, and then map is where for each item in the array, you can transform it in some way and then return how you want it transformed. And in our case, we're transforming it to return JSX. So now we would return an array of links, and React knows how to take that array of JSX and apply it as children.
I didn't think about the fact that it had to look for the borders before we had the buttons.
Right. So yeah, we get the borders and then we create a button for each border. So now what we need to do is each of these buttons are just showing that that code, right? So we need to have a lookup function that can figure out which one of these this is. So up above the return, I'm going to create a find country function. And we're going to say code, and then, oh, I don't want to call it code because that's what I called it with the params. I don't want it to get confused. So we'll call it border code, maybe, equals. Okay, and we're going to say countries dot find. So countries in an array, find is a function upon it. And we're going to say c dot, is it CCA3 is equal to border code. Okay, and we're actually going to just straight return whatever we get back from countries.find. So get rid of the curly braces that we had. So it just implicit returns this. So find will return just the object of the first one that matches. Okay. Everybody have that function? Okay, so now down in our map, we're going to do around this B, we'll do find country, and then we'll call find country and pass it B. And because it will return the object, now we can do Oh no, it broke again. Let me look at how the data is again, because it's like name.common, right, or something like that. Yeah, name.common. So we're gonna say .name.common. Okay, and we're gonna do optional chaining just in case it returns undefined. But now we should get buttons that have the actual name. Does that make sense how we did that?
And you can already put them in the both of them, right?
Yep. Liechtenstein. Austria, Italy, France, Switzerland, Germany, Denmark, Marsden, Belgium's, Luxembourg's, Germany's, Denmark, Germany. Germany is everybody's neighbor apparently.
Yes, they are. Well, actually,
Switzerland,
Switzerland, even more so.
France, Switzerland. Well, look, because if you go to Switzerland, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
If you go to Germany, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. That's right, they are. They're connected to a lot in Denmark.
Portugal is only next to Spain.
Yep, because it's on the tip. It's like
Wow.
they got thrown into the corner of the earth, and there's no way to get to the mainland of Europe. You have to go through Spain if you're in Portugal. It's pretty sad. You have to be neighbors. You have to be happy with your neighbor to live like that. The only other option is going to the ocean. So do you know what country was rated the highest quality of life in Europe?
In Europe?
Yeah. Well, in the whole world, this
Is
European
it
nation.
Switzerland? Yeah.
Number one.
Is it because they have the best chocolate?
They have the best chocolate, and that's what it comes down to, brother.
Something's wrong. I don't know why it doesn't like this. What did I do?
Yeah.
It's this thing, right, that it's looking at?
What's it say? No routes matched location / country. What did you name your location?
This
If you go
location?
to app JS, should be /country /code. Yeah.
What don't you like about it?
Did you spell country right?
C-O-U-N-T-R-Y. And I haven't changed
What
that.
about the other one?
Yeah, I checked the other one too. This one, C-O-U-N-T-R-Y.
It wasn't capitalized, right? /B. But it tried to take you to just /country. So your browser is not actually where you think it is. It's not complaining about this, it's complaining that you went to.
Oh.
So just get rid of that and then you go into one of the countries when it pulls up. Add country, routes, what error occurred in the country component. There is no above error. So we drop down this thing. Consider adding an error message to your tree to customize error. chance? See this, I want to scroll that way, but.
Now it's where there's a camera.
Says you have 4 errors. Go to 5 messages. There you go. Cannot read properties other than by reading map. So go to countries. So my guess is it's that map.
Yeah, cause it goes from before.
So I thought we had. Didn't we have something up top that said if there wasn't a country, then get rid of it? Or don't render? Do you have that higher up?
Is this right?
Higher up?
Oh.
Yeah, so if countries, no. Not country, no. What do you have country set to? At the top.
No.
Okay. It looks like it's map because it's trying to map. So it's line 68. Where's line 68? Is that map that we just did? Probably. If you, Trace, if you refresh yours, does it get upset about the map? What's the key?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be upset about the key. We can fix that in a second. You can fix it just by putting key equals B in the link. Yeah, what brackets B.
Oh, now you really know. Oh, okay.
Now you only have 4, well, you have 4 less. So, just throw an optional chaining on country and on map. Oh, is it border? It's borders.
What?
It's borders. Fixed it.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. It's always like that. As soon as we really grasp stuff, these little simple things. Little simple things.
Yeah, because it was saying it didn't like map on undefined, and it would have said it doesn't like borders on undefined.
It's just like, how do I look at that and not see that there's an S and C in it? It's one line.
Alright,
Very humble.
everybody's good, yeah?
Yep.
If you're getting the thing about keys, then on this link, just key equals B. And that will get rid of the error about the keys,
Have an error about keys?
probably.
I don't have an error about keys. I'll go check. I didn't see an error about keys.
Not on this page, you'd have to be on the other page.
Oh, okay. What's the other page? You mean we hit a particular country? Okay. Sweet. Okay, see up here, so you mean like when I hit the country?
On the back button, if you change it to inline flex, then it will not take up that whole space anymore. Which is what we want. Okay, and then we're gonna steal that class name from the back button and put it down here on this link too.
Is it just inline flex or flex and inline?
Inline hyphen flex.
Ooh.
So if you do that, then we get these buttons down here to all look similar-ish, right? I don't really love the look of these. Yeah,
Oh, this is the back button.
we could probably make those better eventually.
Did you
Yeah, I just copied the back buttons, CS, the class name, and then I put it down on that link. Okay.
Okay, so what did you, okay, let's take a look at it.
Well,
What's the class name for,
just get rid of flex and gap 3. Oh wait, no, this is the span. Leave all that. Delete what you just added to the span. We added it to this link instead.
oh, okay.
I think the span had inline flex, flex wrap, and gap 2.
That's all, yeah.
Yeah. And then
So we saw this thing.
you, from the gap over, I think,
Yeah.
the first gap to 2. You don't want that flex either. So now you just need a closing and a closing caret. Oh, and a closing string. No. No. See how it's all green?
Yeah.
It's because you never closed your string, and then close it.
Okay.
What's after what?
To this link, open that bar and copy that. Yeah, same. Yeah, also.
We got here.
So inline.
Yeah, and then save it.
So, well, I gotta do inline now? Inline flex?
Inline flex it.
Okay.
And change the one at the top to that too.
Oh, okay.
It really bothers me that like that button on here or something.
One at the top, you mean the one at the back? Hit the back button? Which one do you say change also? You mean up here?
Yeah, it needs to be inline flex on that one too.
Okay.
Here, in data row. After the span, of the shadow. It's outside of the span.
Okay, so in the mobile version, which is kind of what I'm building right now, we've got, what's this one for now? Get the flag at the top. The back button has some more space than this, maybe not as much up there, so we'll take some of that space away. So we'll start styling this because we have all of the functionality here now, right? Now, some of this, you'll notice like the border country style is a little bit different than up here. On mobile, this is fine, but the flag will, if we get bigger, it looks kind of weird. Maybe that will go away as we style this, maybe not. We'll have to play around with it. So what we need to do though is we need to probably throw some stuff on this containing div to set this all up. Okay. So first, what we would do is class name equals flex. Okay, and then we're gonna say flex call, and then on, didn't give us a tablet, did it? It's just mobile. So then on medium flex row, okay, so that way as we drag this out, it should go next to each other. So maybe medium's too small, let's go with large. Okay.
So does that just pick a random, like, screen size?
It's not random, it's based on we'd have to look on Tailwinds. So if you look at the Tailwind documentation here, and we go to sizing, maybe, no, topography, backgrounds, borders, effects, filters. Accessibility. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's creating a media query for you. So after responsive design. So small is at 640 minimum. So this is the CSS it writes for it. If you can see that. So at medium, we were going to say as soon as it gets to 768, which is kind of your standard tablet in portrait. Large is tablet in landscape. Extra large is kind of more of a desktop size. So if we do large, then anything that has large in front of it will be whatever is that class name will only work once you are past that breakpoint. Okay, so like here's their example. This image is 16 width. Unless you're on a medium screen, then it jumps up to 32. Unless you're on a larger, bigger screen, then it jumps up to 48. So yeah, that's how we'll do media queries with Tailwind. So it also has animations, so you can do animation in here. So they have a couple of them already pre-created. Spin, ping, pulse, bounce. But if you want to do transitions, you can do some of these transitions as well. There's not a fade, I don't think, on the animations, but like if you did a transition and you changed it so that it went from oops, what did I do?
You can control the timing of it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can control all of the timing and everything. but let's say like we wanted to say, I think there's a hover. On hover, then we want to do opacity 0, and then we'd say transition opacity. Okay, and then this is like the whole thing. So you see the,
Oh, cool.
and then you can say transition delay. What was it? Transition delay something. Oh, it's duration. So let's say we want it to take a second, because you can go up to a second with the duration. Use the duration amount, utility, control an element. So you can see, right, they have it. So it eases in and out. Is that one of these? So you can also create your own in the Telwin config. You can create wiggle or whatever you want. So let's say you wanted a fade, right? Then you could create a fade keyframe and then use that, and then create an animation with the name wiggle, and and here's what it would do. And these are all, like, wiggle is what you named it. 1 second, ease in and out, and infinite. So this is just the animation, like what you would put in your CSS animation, and then you can use it. You can use it like this. Oh no, this is, you could do this inline. Where was it that it showed you could use wiggle? Alright, I think this is if you need a one-off, so you would never use wiggle anywhere else, then you can do this. But okay, so going back to ours with that hover thing, then you can say delay, and we'll put it at 1 second, so this is in milliseconds. I come here and hover. Oh, that's the delay. I want duration. Duration. 1 second. Okay, so then they'll fade in and out slowly. Right? Alright, so now we have this. We're going to make it look more like this. So this back button, I'm going to go up and change . this stuff. PXPY.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Recording it.
Yeah. Oh, this contains everything. Alright, so the top I'm going to change to 10, maybe? Yeah. So we're just going to change this whole thing to P10. Like that. And then I'm going to throw a margin on the bottom of our link. So I'll just do it at the front, margin, bottom, 10. It's actually, it seems like it's bigger on the bottom, so we're going to put 20. Okay, so we got our back button, then we've got our flag. Okay, and now we need, if you'll notice, our Belgium here has a bunch of space above and below, and it's slightly bigger on this page, but we're reusing this title, right? So we want to be able to send a class name to the title and have it combine the class names. So we don't want it to override the other class name. Okay, so we're going to add a new package. And there's a newer one that I want to look at. We're going to add this CLSX. Okay, so we're going to do, if you're in here and you see it like this little button right here will make it so you have 2 terminals, so you don't have to stop your other terminal. So I hit split. Okay, so I have 2 now. I'm going to do npm install CLSX. Okay, everybody got it installed? Okay, so we're going to go into the title. So if you hold command and click on title, it will take you to that component. Actually, first let's before you go into it, let's add the class names that we want, right? So we're going to add text. Let's go with 3XL just so that we know it's bigger. Okay. Now hold command, it'll underline when you hover over it and click it, and it will take you to that component. Okay. Right now we're only accepting children, so we're going to accept.
So you said hold on and click on it, you said?
Yeah, hold command, and then when you click on title, it should take you there.
Okay.
Okay. So then do class name. Okay. And notice we already have a class name, so this is where CLSX comes in handy. We're going to import at the top from CLSX. I think we can just do see if it has any. I might use this one, so okay, it exports at default. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this class name to brackets around it. Okay, and then while you have, so if you highlight, see how I did that? If you highlight from this all the way to the other one, and then just do bracket, the first bracket, it'll do brackets around it. And then I'm also gonna do in parentheses. So while it's still highlighted, I can also do that parenthesis. Okay, and you're gonna call CLSX beforehand. Okay, and we're also gonna pass class name. It needed to be around so these need to be inside of it. Needed to have those included when you were.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I got you. And then the closing one needs to be inside too. So what this package does that we just imported is it will combine those class names for us. Okay, so it'll combine those class names. The other thing we can do with it is we can give it an object. So let's say we had like, let's say we had children coming in, right? We could say we want to have, in quotes here, text 5XL and then colon children is equal to Italy. Okay, so if this prop children ever equals Italy, then then we'll have this class will be applied. Does that make sense? So notice Italy is that one. I'm gonna change this to just ital, and it goes down. So it's applying that 5x because this returned true. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with being able to say, if any of this is true, then go ahead and make that class added on. So CLSX allows us to do that. It also allows us just to give it as many parameters as we want to, and it'll just combine all of those classes onto it. Okay. So we have text large here. We don't want to remove that because we were using it on the other page like this, right? So we want to just accept if there's another class name coming in. And so back on country, we had it as 3XL. Trying to decide. That's probably about right, don't you think? Maybe is that too big? It's about the same, yeah? Maybe? Yeah, this seems like it's maybe looks smaller than it is. Yeah, I don't think we're using the real font yet, too. So we should probably go do that. So what is the font for this? Read me style guide. We're supposed to be using this. Oh good, we opened it up in Safari. Thank you. Nunito Sans. Here. Fonts.google.com. Get rid of permanent marker and change that one. We need 300, 600, and 800. Oh yeah. So 3, 6, and 8. 3, 6, 8. Do the import. And then an index CSS. Put it on the top. 3, 6, and 8. And I may have to look up how to do fonts. Yeah, it should be there.
Okay.
You can take off this one at the end though. The whole object. I just showed that for,
Oh, good. You mean all the time?
yeah, so get rid of this object.
Okay.
Not all the way to the end. Just really goes after everything. So let's see. Font families can be specified as an array or a simple comma. This is why I hadn't added the font because I didn't know how to do it in Tailwind.
Just that component.
So, well, we'll want that font for like the whole thing, right? So, what I did was in index CSS, I added the font at the top there. And then what it wants me to do is in the Tailwind config, theme, font family, I'll just say display. I guess these can probably be whatever you want them to be. And then this needs to be, is this a JSON file? No, it's JavaScript. So I think it's how you use this font. Yeah. I said we have to do that. Okay, so I think that will get it to work. Is it set by something? Yeah. Oh, okay. It needs to be inside of extend, maybe. Alright, so preflight sets the font family on the HTML element to match your configured sans font. So one way to change the default font for your project is to customize the sans key in your font family. Okay, so that's what we want. Default theme. Sans. So I'm going to change this to sans and then put that in there. And then we need to shoot. Yeah, tell and config. You should have it. And then we need that. Oh, that needs to go there. Wait. Maybe the type needs to go here. Theme extend font families sans. I think you should have to do that, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, it's gonna take it out. Family got sans. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and restart and see if it's just boom. And now it has the right font. Number format is defined but never used in Card.js. Is it? So yeah, so once you change your tell and config to add this line here and these lines here, then restart your app. So Control C and then npm start.
You should be able to press it again, right? And then, so now you have 4. How do you go back to the
Oh, trash?
Ooh.
Kill terminal?
Killer terminal. Did that work?
Yep.
you should be able to tell if you go to, if you're not sure if it changed, go and inspect like the title, and then you should be able to see in the computed fonts. If you go to font family, you should see Nonito Sans in the font family.
So you said, okay, we just have to run it now.
Yeah, you just need to restart. Yeah, it looks like you already did, right? So then go to browser. Refresh it. Wait, so did you get the font? And then so go to your index CSS.
Oh, okay. I didn't bring anything back.
Not JS, CSS.
Oh, CSS.
It's gonna be probably down here. You probably don't have it open. These are all your open editors, and these are all the ones
Here
that.
it
Yeah.
is.
So
Okay, I didn't add it yet.
did you get it from the browser, or did you go to Google Fonts and get it?
No. So maybe I gotta go to my browser and get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to go to fonts.google.com. Search for Nonito Sans. Did that work? I think you had www first. You
Yeah.
just fonts.google.com.
Okay.
Is this the only
Hit
place that
enter.
it's supposed to be with the font stuff?
There we go.
That and CSS.
Okay, and then switch up here. Go hit the Google Fonts button, and then search for Nonito Sans.
No.
There it is, right there. Click on that guy, and then delete all your fonts over there. Remove all.
Oh, I think
Okay.
this is supposed to
Then
be
you scroll down on Nonito Sans. Go on, keep going, keep going. Keep going. This just shows you all the stuff. Okay, here's all the sizes. You want 300, 600, and 800.
300 is the turn. Okay.
Yeah, and you don't need the italics, so just skip italic. 3, 6, and 8.
Okay. Import, yeah. Or download. No, import it, yeah.
Yeah, do the import. And then don't copy the style tag, just the import and not the closing style tag either. Which one?
And then I go back and hit at Tailwind. So where do I import that at? Index. Yeah.
At the top.
Oh, above this.
Yeah, put it above the tailwinds.
Oh, it just erased.
Did you install it in your index CSS?
Okay, yeah, I did, this one.
I would put it at the top. I don't know if it'll matter or not. And you restarted, right?
Before I even
Okay, so now
restart again.
just go and inspect one. And inspect the title. Just inspect Finland. Yep. It didn't say Nonito. Can you look at your config again? Well, font family needs to be inside of extend. You have font family on the outside. You got two?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
So this is, why am I limited with my data rows? I don't understand, how come I only have 3?
That's all we had.
That's all we had,
If you
okay.
click into one, so click, and then this should be the page that we're looking at. So inspect and see why you're rendering. Cannot read property yet, undefined reading common. So go to your country file, country component, go to the top. So change this from an object to null.
Oh, okay, so.
Then go back to browser. There we go.
Or it doesn't, it doesn't.
Oh, you have all those, you have all that hover stuff.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you want to delete those though.
Okay,
So we're working in that page right
Gotcha.
now.
okay.
If you click in there,
Click in here,
in this,
okay.
this is the page we're working on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everybody's tell when config is working. You can close that. So country. So Travis, on this div, take off all those transitions and stuff with the hover. Scroll down a little bit.
Right here,
Yeah, from the hover down,
okay.
delete all those. And then you'll still need that closing.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have the right font. We can look and see. Maybe it's too big. What do you think?
What's that, the font, you mean?
Can't tell still because this is still a bit smaller, I think.
Yeah, that's a little small,
So maybe it's not even big enough because
Yeah.
look at the where in the world. Yeah, I don't know. Comparatively, or our where in the world is too big, maybe. Anyway, kind of the same. Doesn't really. We're not super concerned about how big it is. So title though, we're gonna pass in. So we have text 3XL, and then we also need probably like 20 pixels here and 10 pixels here. So we're gonna do PT dash 5 for that one, and PB dash 2 maybe. How big is 2? Ren. It's weird. Let's do margins instead. Margin top 5. Margin bottom 2. Save. Okay, let's go bigger. 10 and 5. No, 15, no, 16, and 10. There we go. Okay. And then let's look here. So I think these look okay-ish. They're a little bit off on colors, but I'm not gonna worry about that. We just need a little bit higher line height on them. So in the data rows, Um, what does the other data row look like in the design? Yeah, they all have it, so you think that looks similar as far as the spacing? So I'm just going to do it to all of them rather than have to add a class name to each data row. So let's go to the data row component, and the overall span, or the overall div that surrounds it, we're going to add a line. I haven't used line height yet in leading. Yes. Okay. So we'll say 9, and then go back to country, and if you notice, we've got these 5 in a group and these 3 in a group. Okay, and then on the mobile, they are spaced out a little bit too. So we're going to throw a div here, an opening div here, and then we'll take the closing div and put it down right here. And then another opening div, and the closing div on that one below the last 3 data rows.
Where's the opening div at?
Yeah, so you're going to throw a div around above official name,
Okay.
and then below capital, and then above top level domain, and below languages. And then probably another div around the whole thing, around all the data rows. So you should have 2 opening divs right under title, and then 2 closing divs after languages, and then an opening or a closing and an opening between capital and top level domain. So I'll do another opening there.
Oh, another behind that one? Okay.
Do that one, and then capital, do a closing one right here.
At the capital.
Yep. And then an opening one.
And then opening right after that.
And then include that closing one, and then go down, and after languages do 2 closing ones. And we'll save. Okay, so then on the opening, the first opening div, right under title, we're going to add flex call, large flex row. So that'll make them so they're in right here together in mobile, and on desktop, everything's super borked. So all just broken.
She
It's
just,
great.
just made the dad into a class name and added like so and so on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then this, let's see, we need to have space here. So on this second div before official name, we're going to add a class name. And that one's going to be margin bottom 20. Too big. I'll go 15. 16, I think is actually the, nope, 10. Sure. That's great. Okay, and then we're going to say large, margin bottom 0. So that, because I don't think we want that margin on this one. On the yeah, we don't want to have that margin there. We'll add it to the whole div later. Okay, and on this div, we're also going to add an MB10. Okay, and then let's see. The only other thing I think we need to do here is this border countries needs to be a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah.
So we need to go to the data row. And we need to accept a class name, and then put this here, here, CLXS. And then class name. Okay, kind of like what we did with the other one. Make sure you import CLSX. Once you have that done, put this over here so you can see over there. Then we also, on this data row, want to add a class name, and it's going to be text XL, maybe 2XL. Because you're not accepting it in your in your props.
Okay.
Right here. See, I have it here after value.
Yeah. I see that.
You guys got it?
Oh, you wrapped like the whole.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just meant from the beginning of what we were.
Okay.
So from the beginning. Official name. So there's two divs above official name.
Yeah, you have those ones. And under country, there should be a closing and an opening. And under languages, there should be a closing.
Under country.
Sorry, under capital, I think it was.
Search engine.
No, capital. Top level should be the first one.
So just one under that one. Is it this one? Or is it under another one?
So move this one down below capital. Move that one too.
This was way closer.
Yeah, and then you want an opening as well after it. You can get rid of one line 54. And then after languages, there should be closing. This one. Yeah, that was right. What's red at the bottom? Actual. There you go.
I don't see it at all.
I don't know what I have at the bottom either. I only have two, I have three at the bottom. So you should have three at the bottom. I'm assuming, do you have the two underneath languages? There should be two under languages.
I have three.
So take one of them off.
Green. I honestly can't tell because they're all kind of.
Right.
I don't know how that is. Oh, yeah. I have different issues. It works, doesn't it?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so, good?
Yep.
Okay, on desktop it's gonna look terrible.
Yeah, it's all good.
We'll fix that next time,
Okay, cool. Okay, good.
okay?
But yeah, no.
But on mobile, it should look okay-ish for now. And it should function-ish. Okay, so tomorrow I will work on the sprint work and I will post out when I have published it. And then probably next week I will publish the sprint work or the work for the capstone, what you need to start preparing.
Yep.
But that one will probably be due after this sprint is over. So,
Thank you for giving us the lowdown.
Just gotta
Yes.
get ready. I'm just gonna prepare for my one-on-one. I'm just be hunkering down as much as I can because
yes.
I think it's gonna be like the firing squad that day.